Alright everyone, what is going on? This is Al from Exiles, and today I'm going to be giving you the deck that I bought to my locals this weekend, this Gladiator Beasts. They just received some brand new supports quite recently in Chaos Impact. Was it Chaos Impact? Yes it was Chaos Impact. I feel old. Yeah, Gladiator Beasts is a deck that's always been very close to my heart. Albeit I didn't do myself very well this weekend with it. However, the deck can do some seriously scary things going second, especially, and it can also set up quite competent boards going first as well. And it's also a lot of fun to play. So I'm going to be going through the deck with you now, and I'll show a little snippet from my locals at the end of the video, just so you can sort of see. This was our first successful locals with our group, so that's something I'm quite proud of. But without further ado, let's get right into the deck. So let's start with 3 copies of Andal. This is your vanilla, and it is probably the most important monster in the entire deck. I'm just going to put it out there now. Then moving on to the effect monsters, we're running Triple Augustus. This is probably the second most important monster in the deck, mainly because it summons Gladiator Beasts out of your hand, and you use this as a combo, and it's also a high level to get your Tamer Editor out and just combo off from there, which is really cool. It can also trigger the effects of Gladiator Beasts in your hand that's summoned by it, because they get summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you know the drill. To complement that, we've got Double Atorix. This one's searchable by Proving Ground, and it's really important because it copies the name and level of a monster that you dump from the deck to the graveyard. So if you have this in hand and you summon Augustus out, you go Test Panther, summon Augustus, and then this will be in your hand. You summon that, then dump the Sea Serpent or another copy of Augustus to copy its level. Then you'll Contact Fuse into Tamer Editor and go from there. 2 copies of a quest. This is an amazing card, mainly because you can research Gladiator Beast comeback with this, recycle it, sorry, which is quite hilarious, because you summon this off of, say you summon this off of Augustus and dump it, and then you re-add the comeback to your hand, and then you can just activate it again because its comeback isn't a once per turn card, and we'll go into that card soon. I want to play more. 1 Bestiary. I definitely think this card can be bumped up to 2. It's so important because sometimes you just really need to Contact Fuse straight off into Geyserus, and it pops a back row as well, and it's really important. But only the 1, sadly. 1 Sagittari. This can help unbrick you when you need it, but it doesn't come up a lot. But when it does come up and it works, it can help get some really needed cards into your hand. And 1 Darius. This one revives from the graveyard, negates the effects of the monster it brings back, but can help you out in a pinch and get some more names on the board. Last but not least, for the Gladiator Beast lineup, we have 1 Vespasius. This is an extremely underrated from the new support, because what you can do is, say if you have your vanilla Andal or any other low attack Gladiator Beast declaring an attack on, say, an opponent's monster that's got higher attack, but what you can do is you can declare an attack with the first monster, and then this will activate in hand at start of damage step. So you'll declare attack, this will come out of the hand, it will boost the attack of the monster attacking, and then your attack still goes through, and then you'll be able to potentially run over the monster as well as bring Vespasius out as a 2,800 point beta, because it boosts all Gladiator Beasts by 500 attack when summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster. And because Vespasius is a Gladiator Beast monster, you know how it works. Same way like Spiral Super Agent works, pretty much. 3 Test Tiger. I never want to run less than 3, because it's just a free name and helps you get into Test Panther. And when you really need it to tag out effect, it can come in super handy. And it's just, you gotta love Test Tiger, I love them. 2 Rescue Rabbit, mainly to bring Andal out of the deck straight away. I was running 3, but I'm planning on ratios with the spell card I'm running to complement this, so we'll go into that soon. And then last but not least, because we're blind seconding with this deck, always, 3 Nibiru. If you go up against combat control, sad days, but this card is stupid. I don't think it should exist in the same environment as pseudopolymerization, but it is what it is. We have to deal with it. Triple Proving Ground, it's the rotor of the deck. Any level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from deck to hand, staple. Triple Comeback, also a staple. Lets you special summon any Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or graveyard with a different type from monsters you control, and it can't be destroyed by battle. A lot of people don't realise that it's they can't be destroyed by battle, so they'll blindly attack into the monster you brought back, and then it'll be like, okay, it can't be destroyed by battle, and then at the end of the battle phase, you'll just shuffle it back in and, you know, tag out like Gladiator Beasts like to do. Probably the second best spell in the deck. Rejection. How I feel after a night out. It's what I face all the time. Is rejection. See, guys, that was funny. Sorry. However, it's an amazing card. Your opponent cannot target Gladiator Beast monsters you control with card effects except during the battle phase. So you're protected from targeting until you enter the battle phase. And as well, if a Gladiator Beast monster is summoned out of your deck, you can summon another out of your deck with a different type from the monsters you control in defense position. You know, it's a hard once per turn effect, but that extra name on board can really help you out in a pinch. This one is Gladiator Beasts United. This card can steal games if used in the right way. This is why I want to potentially bump Bestiari up another copy, because it's quite hard to see the names of the fusion materials you want to go into. But when you haven't got enough damage on board and you have this in hand, this card can potentially steal games, because you can just attack, activate United in the battle phase, shuffle all of the relevant materials from the graveyard, hand or field back into the deck to just fuse whatever you need, which is awesome. Then Double Unexpected Die. This card triggers rejection, and so does Rescue Rabbit. Brings Andal out of the deck. Need I say more? I really want to play one more of this, but I'm trying 2 and 2 for the time being. Double Instant Fusion. It'll become more relevant when we go into the extra deck. Double Mind Control, because Test Panther only needs at least one Gladiator Beast monster as material. The other monster can be any other monster. It doesn't matter. So you can steal that Nibiru token you just dropped on your opponent and then link off into Test Tiger. Perfect. Then Back Row Hate, Twin Twisters, and then 1 copy of Monster Reborn. This card isn't mostly to bring back your own monsters, more as to serve as a way of baiting your opponent, steal a monster out of their graveyard, and then use that as link material for your own Test Panther, which is pretty damn awesome if I say so myself. Now onto the extra deck. We're starting with the Gladiator Beast Link monsters first, or related. Double Test Panther. This card is busted. Searches out any Gladiator Beast card from your deck on summon and can target a monster you control, a Gladiator Beast you control, shuffle it into the deck and then tag it out as if it was done by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, meaning this card lets you make plays going first. It's stupid. Really good card. And then controversial one of, I'm not sure if it is a bit of a controversial one of, but I'm playing one Dragasis. I don't know how to say it. This card is awesome, especially if you've got nothing else to go into. And not only that, but this is a really easy to make monster that can tag out for 2, like Geyserus. So if you attack, the best thing this can do is just tag out and summon 2 from the deck, which can actually help you establish a board if you're struggling, which is, you know, pretty cool. Then for fusions, Tamer Editor, I've only got 1. They all got bought out online, which is sad. This card is busted. It can spit any Gladiator Beast monster out of the extra deck. It requires 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters, and it's just fantastic. On Heraclinos, need I say more? It's a not once per turn spell or trap negation in a monster. All you need is cards in hand. One Domitianus, this is awesome. It negates monster effects as well as it controls the battle phase. So if your opponent enters the battle phase, this guy can let you pick the monsters your opponent's trying to attack, basically, which is cool. And then my favourite guy, Triple Geyserus. This card puts in so much work, it's unbelievable. On special summon, pops 2 cards on the field, not a once per turn effect. You can bring it back with comeback after you summoned it normally. You can contact fuse. The funny thing about it is you can contact fuse it with Bestiary. If you set the Bestiary and just reveal it, you can just contact off, and then that's a way for your opponent not to, you know, be able to start a chain off the Bestiary set, which is quite funny. Then on to some generic link monsters. We have Unicorn for removal, Phoenix for extra removal, Borreload Dragon just for Thunder Dragon boards. Those are quite pesky. And 1 Avramax, either this or Boral Sword, but I had a feeling that Boral Sword would be a bit excessive. And also Avramax offers more protection and utility, in my opinion. Instant fusion targets, pretty standard. 1000 Eyes Restrict, baiting and sucking up opponents' monsters, and Millennium Eyes Restrict. Okay, cool. Side deck. What was I siding going into this locals? Double Gamma Seal, boss monsters, double Pankratops. You're going second most of the time, but it's a nice card to have. Double Ash, in case you are going against someone that can be really susceptible to this card. Doesn't come up a lot, but it can do. Double Lancia for things that like to banish. Double Call by the Grave, more to interrupt your opponent as to protect your own plays. Triple Red Reboot because we hate trap decks. And then if we're forced to go first, 1 War Chariot because it's a searchable monster negate, and 1 Charge because it's a searchable steeds. But yeah, that's been my Gladiator Beasts deck, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the profile today. I'll be bringing more as time goes on. I'm also planning on potentially investing in a scrap deck and making a profile for that at some point. We're also going to be holding a 2.5 tournament. I'm hoping to be able to get some footage from that event coming up next month. So yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you guys soon. Locals tournament time. Sorry guys, just recording for the channel.